In this video, we're going to be looking at dealing with the interior angles of a polygon and using that formula we just learned about. So for these first two examples, I want to find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of the figure. And so we just learned in our polygon interior angles theorem that the sum of the measures of the interior angles is always going to be n minus 2 times 180. And so that's going to be the formula that we're going to be using for these two example problems. And remember, your n, that's just your number of sides. So first, when I am going to find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of the figure, I need to figure out how many sides I have. So I'm just going to go ahead and count this out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you notice, I go ahead and mark on my figure. It can be really easy to accidentally count a side twice or maybe to miss a side. So I like to go ahead and put like a little dot or some marking to show that, okay, I already counted that side. So I have that n is equal to 8. And so now I can go ahead and plug that into my formula. So again, my formula is n minus 2 times 180. Well, my n is 8, so I have 8 minus 2 times 180. 8 minus 2, I get 6. And then 6 times 180, I get 1080 degrees. So the sum of all the angles inside of this polygon is 1080 degrees. They all add up to that. Okay, now let's look at another one. So first step, I need to figure out what n is. So I'm going to count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have that n is equal to 10. And now I can plug that into my formula. So I have n minus 2 times 180. Well, my n is 10, so I have 10 minus 2 times 180. 10 minus 2, I get 8 times 180. And then 8 times 180, I get 1440 degrees. So let's find the sum of the angle measures in the polygon. You may also be asked to find the number of sides of a polygon. So for number 1, it says that the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex polygon is 900 degrees. Classify the polygon by the number of sides. So we want to actually name what this shape is based on the number of sides that we find. So in the previous problem, we were actually finding what that sum is. Here it gives us the sum, but we don't know what n is. So we're still going to be using that same formula. But now I actually know what the formula comes out to be. I know it comes out to be 900. So that means that I get the equation n minus 2 times 180 is equal to 900. So again, remember, this is the formula to find the sum of all the interior angles. Here it already tells us that the sum is 900, so I can set my formula here equal to 900. And now to find the number of sides, I just need to solve for n. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You could go ahead and distribute this 180 and then solve it from there. However, there's actually an easier way since my 180 is already distributed out, it's already factored out. I'm just going to go ahead and divide both sides by 180 first. And when I do that, all I'm left with is n minus 2 on the left-hand side. And then 900 divided by 180, I get 5. Then I just add by 2. And so I get the n is equal to 7. So I know that this shape has 7 sides, so I need to think back to what that means that the name of the shape is. And so if you go back to some of your previous notes, you'll see that a 7-sided shape is called a heptagon. Okay, let's try another one. So here the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex polygon is 1440. Classify the polygon by the number of sides. So same setup, I have n minus 2 times 180, and now I have it set equal to 1440 since I already know that my sum is that. First step, I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 180. And I get n minus 2 is equal to 8. Then I'm going to add both sides by 2. And I get the n is equal to 10. And a 10-sided shape is called a decagon. Okay, and now let's go ahead and look into finding an unknown interior angle measure. So here I'm going to find the value of x in the diagram. So in order to solve I need to know what the sum of the interior angle measures are so that I can actually add up all of my angle measures here and set it equal to that. So my first step is I need to figure out how many sides I have. And so I see I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have n equals 4. And so we did just learn in the corollary to the polygon interior angles theorem that the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. So you could go ahead and skip straight to adding these all up and setting it equal to 360. However, let's say you didn't remember that was the case. If you didn't, that's okay. You can just use our formula. So you get 4 minus 2 times 180. Which is equal to 2 times 180. Which is equal to 360. So we still get 360. And so now to find the value of x, I just need to add all of my angles up. And set it equal to 360. When I add up those three numbers, I get 288. And subtract 288 from both sides. And I get that x is equal to 72. Okay, let's try one last one. So this one, I again first need to figure out what the sum of all of these will end up equaling in order to create my equation. So I need to figure out first how many sides there are. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. And so now I can plug that into my equation. So I have 6 minus 2 times 180. 6 minus 2, I have 4 times 180. And so I get that the sum of these angle measures is 720. And now I can actually add up all of my angles and set it equal to 720. So I have x plus 118 plus 111 plus 124 plus 115 plus 145 is equal to 720. When I add up all those numbers, I get 613. And then subtract both sides by 613, and you should get x is equal to 107.